if they said to you, April, May, it's Dubois, or April, May, it's Usyk, you say immediately yes?
Of course.
No
I would be silly not to take that, because I would end up in a better position taking that fight than
young Moses and Daniel. What a great British fight that would be.
You have to rate Daniel. Obviously, he's a very, very, very good fighter. Obviously, to his career that he's had so far. But I feel like when me and him meet, it's going to be a different story. It's just a matter of time.
Moses Ituma has issued a direct warning to Stan Dubois and his brother Daniel Dubois, making it absolutely clear that he's not here for games, negotiations, or drawn-out rivalries. He's here to dominate. I can easily KO D-Boy, Ituma said with conviction, and this isn't just the usual hype or empty talk designed to...
It'd be silly not to take that, because I would end up in a better position taking that fight than if I didn't take that fight. If I win, I'm a world champion, I'll smash the records, I'm a millionaire, superstar, XYZ, yeah? And if I didn't take that fight, then I've still gone and tried in my...
Grab headlines. This is a promise from a young heavyweight who has already shown poise and ferocity beyond his years. Moses is fearless, laser-focused, and ready for the kind of war that either makes you or breaks you. Whether it's Daniel Dubois or the unified heavyweight.
We're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort.
Heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk down the line. Moses is telling the world the same thing. Bring them on. Stan Dubois better pay attention, because Ituma isn't just another hungry prospect looking to pad his record with easy wins. He's a fighter on a mission, not simply chasing belts, but building a legacy, and along the way, he's collecting reputations. Daniel Dubois, he says, is the first name on the list. Moses isn't rushing into a...
When is he ready? I think he could beat most heavyweights in the world, with the exception possibly of Usyk and maybe Dubois, possibly AJ. Of the top 3 or 4, he's not ready for them yet. Could
fight with Usyk just for the sake of it. He's been clear that Daniel is the right opponent at the right time, the first major test, and exactly the kind of fight that will give him the tough rounds and deep waters that every future great needs to wade through. And really, who better to give him that than Dubois? Adam Smith, the veteran broadcaster.
With Moses, is that his feet and his distance and his range is so good, and he's so quick that if you commit to the punches, you're going to get countered. And if you don't, you're going to get backed up and taken out. So it's a real puzzle. There's not many heavyweights that are southpaws. Obviously, Alexander Usyk is, but he's moved up into that.
Broadcaster recently suggested that Daniel Dubois belongs in the same bracket as Usyk. For Ituma, that's laughable. That's pure madness. In fact, he believes it's disrespectful to even make such a comparison. Moses should take that as fuel because, as he sees it, Daniel Dubois is not elite and never has been. He's been exposed before, and Ituma is ready to embarrass him again. This isn't...
The thing that I worry about with Moses is the size. But ultimately, as we've seen now, size becomes irrelevant, because look what Alexander Usyk's done. This guy's gone out and beaten everyone, including me. He's exceptional. So I don't think Moses is going to be as technically as good as Alexander Usyk, but he's the next in line. I think he's the future of the heavyweight division. I think he's an outstanding talent.
About patience or taking baby steps. It's about making a statement, proving the doubters wrong in the most painful way possible, and it all starts with Stan's brother, Daniel. What makes Moses Ituma such a dangerous proposition isn't just his power, though he hits with fight-ending authority in both hands. It's the freakish control he has over distance, his impeccable timing, and his slick footwork for a heavyweight. He doesn't just punch, he sets traps. He walks opponents down and he forces mistakes. That's a tactical nightmare for any fighter, let alone someone like Dubois, who struggles mightily when he's not in control of the pace. That hesitation, that mental pause when the fight turns against him, will cost Dubois dearly. Moses isn't going to wait around or give him space to recover. The moment Daniel freezes, Ituma will walk him down and rip him apart. And
he's a fabulous young talent. He's got speed, he's got power, he's tough, he's game. He ticks all the boxes so far. So let's see. Again, he's young. You know, he's not really been tested because what he's doing to these opponents. So let's see, it's early days, but big future for him.
Even even those who question Moses' size compared to the traditional heavyweights have been silenced. Tony Bellew said it best, size doesn't matter when you've got brains and brutality like Moses. Dubois might be the bigger man, but that doesn't mean he's the better man. Daniel is slower, stiffer, and far more predictable. Moses is the future, the next era of the heavyweight division, and the talk about him being too small is nothing more than weak excuses to protect Dubois from the storm that's coming his way. And Bellew isn't the only respected voice backing Ituma. Peter Fury, one of the most honest and respected trainers in the sport, sees the same thing. He knows Moses isn't hype, he's the full package: speed, power, toughness, composure, and maturity beyond his years. Fury points out that the untested label some critics have attached to Ituma only exists because nobody...
These guys are begging now for the payday because they know who the king is.
That's right.
And these guys need him. He doesn't need them. Alexander Usyk can choose to fight whoever he wants. He is now the draw in the heavyweight division. He is.
Can last long enough in the ring to test him. He's been blowing through fighters like a wrecking ball. Daniel Dubois, Fury suggests, has a fragile past and a suspect gas tank, and he's exactly the kind of opponent who will allow Moses to showcase everything he brings to the table. Daniel is just another name waiting to be crossed off the list, and Stan Dubois should already be preparing his brother's excuses because there will be none left when the bell rings. The reality is, Daniel Dubois may be older, but he's walking straight into a firestorm that no sparring session can truly prepare him for. Moses isn't interested in simply beating Daniel, he's coming to make a statement that echoes throughout the division. Tony Bellew broke it down further. Usyk is the king of the division right now, and everyone else seems to be lining up just for the payday that comes with fighting him. But Moses is different. He's not chasing clout.
Dubois is certainly a much more dangerous fighter than he was, so he does have a chance to win the fight. But in saying that, I've backed against Usyk a couple of times, and specifically the Fury fight.
Or looking for a retirement check. He's chasing legacy. This is where the mental difference becomes obvious. Dubois sees Usyk as a payday or a career-saving opportunity. Moses sees him as a target, nothing more. That's a massive difference in mindset. Daniel froze under pressure against Usyk. He folded when it got tough, and now his brother is chirping at Moses as though they've forgotten what really happened that night. The truth is, Moses is built different. He respects the champion's crown, but he's not afraid of it. Stan Dubois needs to stop worrying about whether Moses is ready for Usyk and start asking how Daniel will survive the relentless storm that Moses is going to bring. This isn't about contracts, business politics, or money. Moses wants names, scalps, and respect. If the Dubois camp thinks he's just another ambitious young fighter, they're going to find out how wrong they are the hard way. Even Carl Frampton, who has tried to
I feel he knows, and he's grown in confidence since that. I mean, he's in a great place, Dubois, and he can win that fight. He's a big natural heavyweight.
Remain neutral and respectful. Couldn't fully back Daniel. He looked okay, but I was disappointed with the ending. Frampton said after Dubois' last big loss, "That's boxing code for he quit." And let's not forget, this is the same Daniel Dubois who has bowed out under fire more than once. Being better than before doesn't mean much when your past is filled with fold-ups and letdowns. Moses doesn't just want the fight with Daniel, he's hunting it. He's focused, explosive, and mentally unshakable. He doesn't want to simply beat Dubois. He wants to break him completely and prove that no matter how far Daniel has come, he's not ready for a real one. Frampton called Tyson Fury a genius at the end of that same segment, and maybe that's true. But if Frampton ever watches Moses train, fight, and speak with the composure of a 10-year veteran, he'll realize the real genius move is backing Ituma now, before the rest of the world catches up. Mark Tibbs, who has been training Daniel, is doing his...
Daniel's obviously very disappointed. He's in the dressing room at the moment, and if he's going to come back, he's got to learn from it. He's only 27 years old.
Job by selling hope to the Dubois camp, but saying Daniel can win this fight is wishful thinking at best. Confidence doesn't erase vulnerability. Sure, Dubois is big and strong, but so were every man Moses has flattened so far. Tibbs is clinging to Daniel's size as though it's a superpower, but that's outdated thinking. Heavyweight boxing has evolved. Moses isn't intimidated by muscles. He's got timing, IQ, footwork, and that slick southpaw awkwardness that gives even experienced heavyweights nightmares. The real question isn't whether Dubois can win this fight. The real question is whether he can handle being walked down by a fighter who has zero fear, zero respect for him, and every reason to dominate. Moses doesn't care about weight. He cares about results. And if Tibbs thinks that being in a great place mentally is enough for Dubois...
I know that he broke him down, right? He broke him down, he was patient. Daniel Dubois did, for me, look better. Like landing some good shots in the beginning, it was going back and forth. And he got Usyk's attention, but he was patient. Feints, movement, footwork.
To survive against the most dangerous young heavyweight in Britain, he's in for a painful awakening. Moses Ituma is coming to test Dubois' soul, and no pep talk, no new camp, and no brother in the corner is going to save him from that. Even Frank Warren, who has promoted Daniel, seems to be softening the blow and tempering expectations. But the reality is, this is a pattern with Dubois. Every time the heat rises, he disappears into the dressing room, hoping the fans forget. Yes, he's only 27, which sounds young in life. But in boxing terms, that's veteran territory. And if you're still learning the basics at 27, you're not elite, you're catching up. Compare that to Moses Ituma, who's still a teenager but already acting, speaking, and performing like a world champion in waiting. There's no maybe in his eyes, only intent. Frank Warren knows Dubois still has name value, but he's also seen something the fans are starting.
Obviously, there's no pretend. The man is supremely talented, but time and season is everything in the sport.
Starting to admit, Daniel lacks that fire when it really matters. He folded against Joe Joyce. He crumbled against Usyk. Moses, on the other hand, is hunting those same names, not to survive but to destroy. Frank might want to believe Daniel can come back, but the question is from where and to what, because when Moses Ituma gets through with him, there may be no coming back at all. Joseph Parker, another respected heavyweight, gave Dubois more credit than he deserved by saying he broke him down. That makes it sound like Daniel was in a tough chess match. In reality, Usyk picked Dubois apart with embarrassing ease. Moments don't make champions, consistency does, and consistency is exactly what Moses Ituma lives by. While Dubois looks for that one big shot, Moses is building game plans, stalking, dismantling, and delivering clean, brutal knockouts. If Usyk's footwork confused Dubois, what's going to happen when Moses switches angles mid-combination and lands shots Daniel doesn't even see coming? Joseph Parker was being polite and respectful, but Moses won't be. He won't need feints, long setups, or slow breakdowns. He's going straight for the finish because he's not interested in points. He's interested in legacy, and Daniel Dubois is in the way. Even inside his own family, the support seems to be crumbling. Caroline Dubois didn't hold back when she called her brother out after his last loss, saying what everyone else was thinking. He gave up when the going got tough. If his own sister can see the quit in him, imagine what Moses sees. That broken confidence doesn't just vanish, and Moses isn't just coming to beat Daniel. He's coming to expose whatever is left of him. Stan Dubois can talk all he wants, but even inside the Dubois household, respect is fading, and Moses thrives on that. Caroline's words weren't just harsh. They were confirmation of what everyone already suspected. Daniel Dubois isn't the warrior he once believed he was. He's just a name now, and a fading one at that. When Moses stands across from him, there will be no sympathy, no respect, and certainly no family forgiveness. There will just be a young lion ready to make the ultimate statement at Daniel's expense. Moses Ituma isn't just knocking on the door of the heavyweight elite, he's kicking it down. This entire back and forth with Stan Dubois has only lit a fire that can't be put out. Stan tried to play tough, but all he really did was put a bigger target on his brother's back, and Moses is now locked in on his mission. This isn't just a fight, It's a statement. Moses wants to show the world that Daniel Dubois isn't on his level mentally, technically, or physically. The boy has been broken before, and the scars still show. Usyk outclassed him, Joyce broke him, and now Moses is coming to bury him. While Daniel's team talks about size, confidence, and improvements, Moses remains silent because he knows the only thing that matters is what happens under the lights. This young beast isn't coming to outpoint the so-called D-boy. He's coming to dominate round by round, punch by punch, until Daniel can no longer stand. And let's not forget the stakes. If Moses wins, he leaps straight into title contention, kills the hype around Dubois, and silences any remaining doubters. If Daniel somehow survives and wins, it will be the shock of the year and a brutal lesson for Team Ituma. Either way, fireworks are guaranteed. So now it's your turn. Who are you backing when that bell rings? Is Moses Ituma about to prove he's the real future of heavyweight boxing? Or will Daniel Dubois silence the critics once and for all? Drop your predictions in the comments and let the war of words begin.